because this is how the Denver Nuggets became victorious. It did, though, start with a whole lot of LeBron James, Big Perk. He was on fire.
He came out aggressive, and I knew he was because he has a lot of pride. When you talk about Braun and getting swept, that's one thing that a great don't want on his resume.
Well, LeBron, corner three, got that one to go. Richard Jefferson here with us as well. It was just all LeBron, even when he didn't mean to.
Well, yeah, we saw that accidental shot. But at the end of the day, LeBron James is a lead-by-example guy. He has done so much of deferring to people all postseason, except when he needed to do the most. And he has an ultimate feel and IQ for a game. He's going to try and set the tone because he recognizes that this Denver team is the better team. So the one chance that he could get is like, I'm not waiting for nobody. Mm-hmm. I'm not deferring to nobody. If you don't want to be on this stage, if you don't want to compete at a high level, then I'm going to do as much as a 38-year-old in his year 20 can do.
And he did.
He did like that. What else do you want from the big fella?
He left it all out there, particularly in the first half. His 31 points in the first half were the most by any player in a first half when facing elimination in the last 25 postseasons. But in the third quarter, baby, here come the Nuggets.
Oh, it's so impressive. Jokic and Jamal Murray. Right, one thing that people don't understand, Mike Malone's been there 8 years. Jokic has only played for Mike Malone. Jamal Murray's only played for Mike Malone. Porter Jr. has only played for Mike Malone. And then when you look at a guy like Aaron Gordon, 2.5 seasons there. So their collective unit, they have so much experience. They were not going to get deterred by a tough first quarter, first half from the Lakers.
Well, and then our ESPN analyst, Tristan Thompson, entered the chat.
Absolutely, and probably earned himself a contract for next season. But Tristan's energy, his tenacity off the bench was amazing.
Plays like a dog. That's why you want him on your squad, I'm telling you.
But this is just...
You can't guard that.
There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do about it.
He's the best offensive force in the NBA, and it's by far. It is not even close.
One of the things that I have enjoyed most in the Western Conference is listening to Nikola Jokic post-game.
I mean, no, but you know what? I'm going to take that's my signature shot. I'm joking, and being off balance, I'm off balance my whole life, so that's kind of normal for me.
He said, I've been off balance my whole life.
Yes, he has.
This is what you call tomato chest.
What?
Into the tomato chest. That's what he did. Tomato chest Anthony Davis to go get the bucket. He wasn't going to be denied.
Final seconds, LeBron ball in his hands. Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray just smothered defensively.
I got nothing to say.
The Denver Nuggets get the win.
Nuggets.
Let's take a listen to Nikola Jokic.
I think this trophy speaks for itself. What does it symbolize for you?
For me, to be honest, nothing. This trophy is supposed to go to my teammates and coaches. They put me in a situation. I'm just first among the equals, and I'm just happy that we are collectively getting wins and getting to make something.
I know how great Joker is. Certain guys in this league that play the game a certain way. There's not many guys in our league like that. So you already knew you was going against a beast once the series started.
Did you learn anything about them last night, Richard?
You know what I learned? I learned that the media likes to ask stupid questions. That's what I like. That's the one thing I learned. And when I say that, because everyone asks, every player throughout the entire series, are you surprised by Nikola Jokic? They asked Kevin Durant that. They asked LeBron James that. Are you surprised? Are you surprised by the two-time MVP? Are you surprised by the guy that everyone has watched for 3 seasons be top 3 in this league and for 5 seasons be outstanding? Are you surprised? No. He's got his healthy roster around him, and he's been as dominant as he has been the last couple of years. So I haven't learned anything about Jokic other than he's gotten better from 2020 to 2021 to 2022 to this day. He has improved, and we can't say that about all of the people that he's competing against.
Well, this is why I give you some pushback, is that I don't feel like it's a crazy question to ask, because...
But they're asking everyone that.
And they should, because they want to know, how does it feel to actually have to compete against him in a 7-game series? And
that's not the question.
But it ties together, Richard. So if I want to know, like, being in between those lines, the physicality, his brilliance, like him seeing plays or breaking your coverage when you have a certain type of defensive coverage design, and all of a sudden his IQ breaks your team apart, or him seeing a cutter at the last minute. Like, you want to know those things.
Well, no, I agree, but this is what I'm saying. 3 seasons ago, he went to the conference finals. So he did a lot of damage to a lot of teams. Been to the postseason. He sent Portland home. They had to fire their whole coach. When they lost to the Nuggets, they changed the whole Portland roster. The entire league knows how great Jokic is. This is about the rest of America finding out how great Jokic is. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was like, when they were asking the questions to Kevin Durant's like, no, that's Jokic. We know him.
But also, you have to take in consideration that when people ask those questions, they want those particular superstars, iconic figures like Kevin Durant and LeBron James, to actually let the world know how great he is, because they don't get opportunity to hear from them about Jokic.
I want to hear it from LeBron James, just how great Nikola Jokic is. I also want to hear from Michael Malone. Take a listen.
I think it starts with a belief, in themselves, but probably more importantly in the collective, the man next to them. I've seen that belief all year long. And to beat this team in the Western Conference Finals and to get the first sweep in franchise history, to get the first Western Conference championship in franchise history, it means a lot. But I speak for 17 players in that locker room and the entire organization. We are not satisfied.
Me and AD were just talking in the locker room for a little bit. I think we came to the consensus that, if not one of the best, probably the best team that we've played since we've been together for our 4 years. They're just well orchestrated, well put together. They have scoring, they have shooting, they have playmaking, they have smarts, they have length, they have depth.
They have it all. They also have a superstar that I would be remiss not to mention, recorded his 8th triple-double of the postseason last night. That passes Wilt Chamberlain for the most in a single postseason, as we say hello to our senior writer, Zach Lowe. Zach, what went through your mind as you're watching the Nuggets finally make it to the NBA Finals?
This is a 5-year story for them. If you go back to 2017, 2018, they had kind of a disappointing season, faint playoff hopes. Almost every game down the stretch was a must-win for them, and they won them all, and they forced a one-game winner-take-all season finale for the 8th seed with Minnesota and lost on the road in overtime, and Jokic went crazy. And it's just been a steady build from there. The pain of that loss, the pain of missing the playoffs, fueled them going forward. The next year, they make the second round. The year after that, they make the conference finals. The year after that, they acquire Aaron Gordon in a trade that changed their entire team and really rounded it out. And then, bam, after 8 games of looking totally dominant with Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray tears his ACL. And the last 2 years without Jamal Murray, that playoff run in last year, have kind of been a waiting period. A waiting period, mind you, when they still won a playoff round and then made the playoffs the next year and lost to the defending champion. And while they were waiting, they tweaked the roster. They got guards who are defensive-oriented, who are shooters. KCP, hand in glove. Bruce Brown, hand in glove. They tweaked their system. They got better. They stood by their coach. They stood by what they had because they had faith that if they could stay healthy, this moment was coming, and they waited for it, and they have announced to the world, 12-3 in the playoffs, we are here, and they are set up to be here for a very long time.
Hey, Zach. Do you remember who the best player was on that Minnesota team that they lost to? Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Buckets was the one that sent them home. He sent them home. So just wanted to kind of start setting the stage for that bad boy.
Tim, I want to start with you here. Boston, they hit a low point in Game 3, right? What was the mood following shoot-around today?
Well, as you saw in those clips, Malika, Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart put off a vibe that this team is feeling good about itself going into Game 4 and that they're focused on doing what they said, getting one win, getting the series back to Boston for Game 5 on Thursday, and keeping their season alive. Now, for the Celtics to do that, Malika, they're going to have to get much better at the defensive end of the court. You mentioned how ugly that Game 3 loss was on Sunday night. The fact these guys are now down 3-0 in the series, a big part of that is the fact that Boston went from being second in the entire league in defense during the regular season to 10th in the league in defense in the postseason. Both Malcolm Brogdon and Joe Mazzulla have talked since Game 3 about the fact that Boston has gotten away from its identity overall, and particularly at the defensive end of the court. With Miami shooting almost 50% from three-point range in this series, for the Celtics to have any chance of becoming the first team to come back from down 3-0, they're going to have to do much, much better at containing the Heat's three-point shooters. So we'll see if they can do that tonight and then get themselves back on track here in Game 4.
Okay, so that's the Boston side of things. Nick, what are the Heat saying about the chance to sweep the Celtics here?
They are cool, calm, and focused. Malika, you and I have gone through a lot of shoot-arounds over the years.
Yep.
We are at Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and this shoot-around a few hours ago here at the arena felt like it was the middle of December. The Heat were all business. I said to Max Strus, why are you guys so calm? He said, we have the belief. We've been building for this all season. Now, why is that belief so strong? They have Jimmy Butler. And Malika, Kyle Lowry told us he is the best player in the world right now. They also have Eric Spoelstra. Kevin Love said he lets us be unapologetically ourselves. Now, Malika, on every single seat tonight, there is one of these towels.
Ooh.
The Heat are an 8 seed now. Let's not forget this. But this is a checklist game for Miami because they started off and they went through Giannis and the Bucks. And then they go to New York, and they went through Tibbs and Jalen Brunson. And now they are a game away from getting through Jason Tatum and the Celtics. So then, if they can get there, they'll be 4 wins away from hanging another one of these against the Nuggets in Jokic in a few weeks.
They're hoping that they can take out a pen and just go right through that Boston Celtics team tonight. Nick Friedell, Tim Bontemps. Thank you very much. This is the Sharpie game. Well, the Heat's odds to win the title, they were 150-1. That's when the playoffs started. But if Miami wins one more game and makes it to the finals, they'd have the longest odds to win a championship entering the playoffs among teams to reach the finals since the merger in 1976.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.